Bismillahirrahmanirrahim wa sallallahu ala nabiyyil kareem Muhammadin wa alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. As a well-known rule in Sharia is that la yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not make someone bound for something which is beyond his scope or which he cannot do. And anything we are bound for, if it can cause us trouble, and that is difficult, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relaxes the same. As if someone cannot pray in standing condition, then he should pray in sitting. Same is the case of wudu, which is a must for ibadat and especially for prayer. But if someone cannot make it because of some unavoidable circumstances, then there is a substitute which is called tayammum. فَتَيَمَّمُوا سَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you cannot make wudu, or you were in need of shower or ghusl, but you were unable to do it, then you should make tayammum. Now tayammum is a type of cleanliness or purification as a substitute to wudu and as a substitute to shower as well. Maybe the shower is a first type of shower or a sunnah type of shower, or as the case may be. Then tayammum is a perfect substitute according to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayh. When that is needed and Islamic Sharia allows the same, so it will work as the wudu work for, means for recitation, for touching of Holy Quran, any type of prayer, making tawaf, or as the case may be. And as we mentioned, that's a substitute to wudu and a substitute to ghusl as well. And then the second thing, which we had mentioned according to Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayh, that one can make or what can do and practice anything with the same tayammum which he can do with a wudu or ghusl, and doesn't make difference whether he has made intention for something nafil or something farz or wajib or sunnah. If somebody has made intention of tayammum to do something which is nafil or sunnah, so he can do something farz with the same tayammum as well, because we mentioned it, that tayammum is a perfect substitute to wudu. But according to Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahmatullahi alayh, tayammum is for a specific time. So if somebody, he has made a tayammum for Salat Fajr, so from the time of Salat Fajr, the start of Salat Fajr until sunrise, he can do anything where wudu is needed. So he can practice with the same tayammum any type of ibadah where wudu or cleanliness or purification is needed. But when the time of their salat ran out, so tayammum is broken automatically. Imam Shafi rahmatullahi alayh says that if somebody has made intention for something nafil, so he cannot pray a farz or he cannot do a farz with the same tayammum. Yes, if he has made intention for farz, then he can pray any nafil or he can do any nafil prayer with the same tayammum. Maybe before that farz prayer he has made intention for, or after that farz prayer. And according to Imam Malik rahimahullah, he can pray nafil after farz prayer, but not before farz prayer. If he will pray a nafil before farz prayer, he had made intention of tayammum for, so then after nafil prayer he has to make another tayammum for his farz prayer. And same is the case of khutbah of Jummah, which is a part of Salat, and we gave you detail that according to Shafi rahimahullah, a separate tayammum is needed for khutbah and a separate one for Salat Jummah. And then we mentioned here almost 6 reasons or causes where Islamic Sharia allows to pray tayammum, and we have given the details according to all 4 schools of thought. That unavailability of water, that is one reason. Number 1. Number 2, water is available, but what cannot use it because of some unavailable circumstances. That he was in a desert and no further water was available there. If he will make wudu with the same well, he will die of thirst. So then, that is allowed to make tayammum. And then, number 3, that tayammum is allowed when someone is sick and he knows that use of water can increase or prolong his sickness or his disease, or it can damage the sick organ of the person concerned. And number 4, that if he will go to search for water, so he will lose some of his valuable and precious things. So then that is allowed to make tayammum. And number 5, that lot of cold also allows tayammum. And we have given details according to different imams. And number 6, fear of prayer time, that is running out. So does it allow to make tayammum? So he may not miss the prayer concern. According to Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, there is a general rule that where there is a substitute for such like prayer, then that is not allowed to make tayammum for. But if the prayer concern does not have a substitute, then that is allowed. And that is only 2 cases. Number 1, Salat Janaza, and number 2, Salat Eid. Because Eid prayer does not have any substitute. There is no any qada of Salat Eid. Same is the case of Salat Janaza. Someone cannot pray it alone and individually. And number 2 is Salat Janaza. Is once prayed, then that is not allowed to repeat it if the wali of the dead concerned, he has already joined the first prayer, according to Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayh. And as far as the case of Shafi and other imams, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal is concerned, so he said that if he is astray, so then that is not allowed to make tayammum for any prayer. But if he was at travel and he was at journey, at that time, if he was of the view, if I will look for water, I will lose the ada of my salah. I will miss my salat and the time will run out. Then that is allowed to make tayammum. But Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah says that if he expects that I will find water, then he should delay it. Now, the next topic is, this is the new topic. Is it must to repeat the prayer if one has prayed the same with tayammum? Is it must to repeat the prayer if someone has already prayed it with tayammum? So as we mentioned before, that tayammum is allowed because of certain causes or certain reasons, as we mentioned. But if someone has done the same due to non-availability of water, he made tayammum because he couldn't find water. And we mentioned here that for how long one has to search for water or to look for water. So according to Ahmad ibn Hanbal and the near about area, according to Imam Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayh, yes, in the radius of 1 mile. According to Imam Malik, in the radius of 2 miles. And as we mentioned before, if someone expects that he can find water, then he has to delay his prayer up to the late time of the prayer concerned. But Shafi rahimahullah says that if he is 50-50, maybe he will find or he will not. So as you know, This is recommended according to Shafi, rahimahullah, to pray every prayer right in the beginning of the time. And as we will mention later on, that according to three imams, that the recommended time for every prayer is the very beginning of the time concerned. Yes, Salat al-Fajr, the dawn is broken already, so just pray as soon as possible. Same is the case of Salat al-Zuhur, Salat al-Asr, Salat al-Maghrib, except the Salat al-Isha. And according to Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayh, ta'jeel or praying of a prayer right in the beginning of the time concerned, this is only the case of Salat al-Maghrib, because of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, لا تزال أمتي بخير ما عجل الإفطار والمغرب أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My ummah will be on khair as long as they are making hurry in Salat al-Maghrib and in their iftar. They are not delaying their Salat al-Maghrib for no reason, and they do not delay their iftar of fasting for no reason. It should be done as soon as possible right after sunset. Got it? So that is the only case of hurry according to Abu Hanifa which is recommended. As far as the case of other four salat is concerned, so regarding Salat al-Fajr, Abu Hanifa has a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, أسفروا بالفجر فإنه أعظم للأجر. That perform your Salat al-Fajr in Isfar. Isfar being when the things will become bright. That is recommended. Because many people will join you in Salat al-Fajr. That is the time of waking up. So when you will delay it, so some people will join you. And in Salat al-Zuhur, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, أبردوا بالظهر فإن شدة الحر من فيح جهنم. That heat, especially in summer time, that is the steam of Jahannam. So take your Salat al-Zuhur to some time of coldness or cold. And regarding Salat al-Asr, there hadith of Jabir ibn Abdullah radiyallahu ta'ala an, that one has to pray it when the shade of everything will become double of it. And that's the case, which is that's according to Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, that is right the beginning of the Salat al-Asr, but one should not take it till the time when the sun will become yellow and pale. And regarding Salat al-Isha, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, لولا نشق على أمتي لأمرتهم بتأخير العشاء إلى نصف الليل وفي رواية إلى ثلث الليل. If it would not have been difficult for my ummah, I would have ordered them on mandatory basis that they should delay their Salat al-Isha until midnight or even until ثلث الليل, 1/3 of the night. So anyhow, if somebody expects that I can find water, so he should delay his prayer. But according to Imam Shafi, rahimahullah, if his expectation is 50-50, then he has to perform his prayer right in the beginning of time. But if somebody prayed with Tayammum, so is he bound to repeat that Salah if he will find water? So he should write it. Date. If he has made the Tayammum because of non-availability of water, so he is not bound to repeat the same prayer. If he has found the water after the time of the prayer concerned, that is unanimous in all four schools of thought. But if somebody, he found the water in the time of the prayer concerned, he made Tayammum because water was not available. He prayed Salat al-Fajr, and before sunrise, he found the water. Should he repeat the prayer? So Imam Malik, Abu Hanifa and Ahmad, rahimahumullah, they say that no, he is not bound to repeat the prayer. If he has performed his prayer with tayammum because of other reasons of tayammum, not the non-availability of water. Just write the word. But as I told you, that in fiqh class, you have to think later on. You think first and later on you write. No, write first, later on you will think. Yes. If he was not satisfied with his tayammum, because he did not make a proper research for water, and then he found the water in the prayer time, then he should repeat it near Imam Malik. And Abu Hanifa says, if somebody was seized, water was available, but he was seized, the authority, or as the case may be, a wicked person, he was not allowing him to use the water. So he prayed the prayer with tayammum. So if he got released before the passage of the same time, then this is the only situation where Abu Hanifa says he has to repeat his prayer. But this situation will apply if he was at stay, not at travel. If he was seized from the use of water while he was traveling, he was at travel, and he was seized by someone that he cannot use water, and then he prayed with tayammum. So now if he got released right in the time of the prayer concerned, he is not bound to repeat it. Abu Dawood narrates a hadith. إن رجلين خرجا في سفر فحضرت الصلاة وليس معهما ماء فتيمما صعيدا طيبا فصليا ثم وجدا الماء في الوقت فأعاد أحدهما الوضوء والصلاة ولم يعد الآخر ثم أتى يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فذكرا له ذلك فقال للذي لم يعد أصبت السنة وأجزأتك صلاتك وقال للذي أعاد لك الأجر مرتين أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Abu Dawood narrates a hadith from Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu ta'ala an. The two men, they were on travel. Should write it. Two men were on travel, and they got the time for prayer. They couldn't find water. They prayed with the tayammum. Later on, they found water in the time of the prayer concerned. Still, it was the time of the same prayer. So one of them repeated his wudu and his salat as well, and the other one did not. When they came back, they related the story to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to the first one who repeated his wudu and salat, you got a double reward, because anyhow you prayed two prayers. So one of them is farz and the other one would be considered as nafal. Like someone who prayed his Salat al-Isha, look at me, who prayed his Salat al-Isha somewhere, and then he came to Granada Hill, as you know that we are praying there, and then he joined us in the same Salat al-Isha, so he will be getting a double reward. You know what I'm saying? According to some ulama, the first one would be considered the first one, and the second one would be considered the nafal one. And according to certain other Hanafite ulama, they say the perfect one would be considered the first one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will count which one? The perfect one which is according to Sunnah. So that would be considered the first one. And that one which has a little bit defect. Like my Salat, for example. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive and forbid. That would be considered a nafal Salat. You know what I'm saying? Yes, also. Yes, subhanallah, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will count the perfect one in farz. If the first one was not according to Sunnah, that would be considered nafal. And the second one would be considered farz. Got it? So Prophet ﷺ said to the same Sahabi who repeated his wudu and his prayer, that lakal ajru marratain. And the one who did not repeat, Prophet ﷺ told him, asabta sunnah. Asabta sunnah. You followed the sunnah. That is sunnah, not to repeat. Got it? And that's the proper way. There is a hadith. And not only hadith, the practice of Abdullah ibn Umar, radiyallahu ta'ala an. That he was outside Medina, he was coming from somewhere. And he was outside Medina. The houses of Medina were clearly seen to him. Yes. He was outside Medina, and the houses in Medina clearly seen to him. But he made tayammum. Water was not available. He made tayammum and he prayed. And when he entered Medina, so the sun was still at height. It was after time. Sun was still at height. But he never repeated his prayer. So this is the practice of Sahabi. And number two, and the actual reason is that when something or some practice is allowed Islamically, so when that is done okay. But Imam Ahmad says, rahimahullah, if he was still in the time of the same Salat, then he should repeat his wudu and prayer both. He found water, so he should repeat his wudu and his prayer both. Because of a hadith narrated by Imam Hakim and Imam Nasai, فَإِذَا وَجَدْتَ الْمَاءَ فَأَمِسَّهُ جِلْدَكَ, that when you found water, فَأَمِسَّهُ جِلْدَكَ, so touch it with your skin, means make wudu. And there are details in the madhab of Imam Shafi. Yes, in Tayammum, the very easy madhab is that of Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah. Because from the very beginning, as we mentioned, that this is a perfect substitute. Yes. So when we said that that's a perfect substitute, there is no need of repetition. Maybe he has done it because of non-availability of water, or because of cold, or because of this, or because of this, or because of this. The Sharia allows something and what? You know what I'm saying? And as we mentioned before, the case of Faqid al-Tahurain. The case of what? Faqid al-Tahurain, that's someone who was there in space. Someone who is there in space, or he was flying in an aeroplane, and according to those who allow to pray in the aeroplane, because that's also a disputed issue, that whether that is allowed to pray in the aeroplane or not. You know what I'm saying? So those who allow to pray in the aeroplane, you know what I'm saying? So neither water was available, nor dust. Water was not available to make wudu. Dust was not available to make tayammum. So he is called the Faqid al-Tahurain. He's called what? Faqid al-Tahurain. So what will be the case? And already we have given you the details about Faqid al-Tahurain. That according to Imam Malik, rahimahullah, his case is just like a woman in menses. Ya subhanallah. What a qiyas. That the case of such like person is just like a woman in menses. So what's the case of a woman in menses regarding salat? She is not bound. She is not. So Imam Malik says, yes, there is no salat for such like person, like a woman in menses. Yes, he should enjoy, yes, but the food there in aeroplane. And nothing else. Neither ada nor qaza. Neither ada, yes, nor qaza. Yes, reason is very much perfect. Like a woman in menses. Yes, she is bound to make ada or qaza? No. So Imam Malik rahimahullah says, that is the case. There is no nafsi wujub nor wujubi ada. In jurisprudence we call it, the term is nafsi wujub and wujubi ada. So there is no nafsi wujub nor wujubi ada, according to Imam Malik rahmatullahi alayh. Got it? Yes. According to Imam Shafi rahimahullah, as we mentioned before, that Faqid al-Tahurain, he has to perform his prayer. He has to perform his prayer, and later on he has to make qaza. Later on he has to make qaza. Got it? And according to Ahmad ibn Hanbal, rahmatullahi alayh, he has to perform his prayer, and he is not bound to make qaza. He is not bound to make qaza. His salat is done without purity and without cleanliness. Got it? And Imam Muhammad, the student of Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, he says that he has to do tashbih with musallin. That is the time of salat, and in the time of salat, every Muslim is bound to perform prayer. That is not okay for a Muslim that that is the time of salat and he does not pray. That was the time. That was the time that nobody was able even to conceive that a Muslim in the time of prayer does not pray. So, now our case is otherwise. Our case is otherwise. For majority we cannot conceive that they do pray. Amazing. They do not. Yes, but at that time the case was like this. Time of prayer and someone does not pray. Yes, can you imagine? As Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala said, I mentioned in my Salat khutbah, in my khutbah of Jummah, that Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala said to his students that we are in a time, yes, in a time that people can say, or people will say, or people say even practically, oh, do you know, in Yemen there is a guy. Yes, he tells lie. In Yemen, there is a guy. He tells lie. And Ibn Umar says that soon you will be in a time that the case will be other way around. Do you know that in Yemen there is a guy? Yes, he speaks the truth. Got it? So at that time, that was not imagined for a Muslim. Time of Salat, and he does not pray. You know what I'm saying? So keeping in view that very practice of Muslim, Imam Muhammad says, rahimahullah, they, for a prayer, that's a prerequisite, yes, to be clean and pure, either by way of wudu or by way of tayammum. And this guy, Faqid al-Tahurain, he does not have neither of them both. So what he should do? He should only do tashbih bil-musallin. Tashbih bil-musallin means, yes, not saying anything, because it's not allowed. He is not pure. He is not clean. That's 2 rakat, 3 rakat, 4 rakat, as the case may be. He will do it without saying or uttering a single word. But he should do the tashbih. He should do that. And tashbih is only in moments. Tashbih is in what? In harakat according to Imam Muhammad rahimahullah. And later on, when he will have either dust or water, so he will make qada. And Abu Hanifa rahimahullah says, when neither water is available, nor dust is available, that's a joke. It is a joke. That regarding dropping of salat, as Imam Malik says, Abu Hanifa says you cannot make a qiyas. What you cannot do? This is not a matter of qiyas, this is a matter of text. If text of Hadith or Quran is not there, that salat is dropped. Based upon qiyas, you cannot drop. You know what I'm saying? So he says, nafsi wujub is there. What is there? Nafsi wujub. But wujub ada is not there. Nafsi wujub is there. Yes, he is bound to pray, but he cannot. Why? Because he is not clean. He is not clean, so he should not pray. Yes? And what will happen? Substitute is there, which is qada. Substitute is there, which is qada. So anyhow, Shafi says, rahimahullah, if someone made tayammum because of non-availability of water and he prayed, no, someone made tayammum because of non-availability of water, so his situation will be one of these 3 or 4 surahs. Number 1, he saw water before starting his prayer. He made tayammum because water was not available. But before started his prayer, what he did? He saw the water. His tayammum was broken. Number 2, he made tayammum and started the prayer. And after starting his prayer, he saw water. He prayed 1 rakat and still he was in prayer. He saw water or somebody told him that water is there. So if he was at stay, not on travel, so his tayammum is broken. His tayammum is broken. What he will do? He will come out of his salat. He will make wudu and he will pray. But if he was at travel, so then not. Then he should complete his prayer with the same tayammum. Number 3, if he was at stay and he performed his prayer with tayammum, then he saw water. Now he is bound to repeat his prayer. So furthermore, inshallah, next Sunday, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulih Muhammadin wa ala ashabihi ajma'in. اللهم ربنا ارحمنا بالقرآن العظيم وذكرنا بالقرآن ما نسينا وعلمنا منه وجعلنا وسواء عن الليل وعن النهار صلى الله وسلم على we had a friend known by